Okay, here we go, folks. Yes, I was watching the snooker there just before I started streaming. I'll be flicking backward and forward to keep an eye on it. Here we are for Friday night 9-ball. The brackets have just been drawn, and we'll have a quick look at them. If we can get this browser to move. Right. We've got Mr. Bill playing Dirties, and Dirties is getting 7 and out. McClarkey has a bye to the second round. Gunnett has a bye, and Larry has a bye. So Larry's now going to be playing Gunnett, and Larry's going to be up against it straight away. He's given 5 and out to Gunnett. We have Tommy Yu playing LS3, and LS3 is getting 7 and out in the first round. DJ Redo is getting a bye, and Simanx and Columbus have both got a bye, so they're playing their second round match. And well, I think we might as well go into the top match. We'll have a look at Mr. Bill playing Dirties. And it looks like, well, that was quick. I've just joined the room and Dirties is up 1-0 already. I don't know what happened there, but it certainly happened quickly. A nice cut, and I think he's got a decent enough pot in the 2 here. He needs to get a bit of top on this. He just overcooked it slightly, but a gentle cut in the 3 here, and he can get himself back out and across for the 5. Well, he's going to go in no man's land. He just hit that a bit too hard. And this is the danger area for Bill. Well, he's snookered in the 5, because we're now almost down to the money balls in this rack, and so Dirties just needs to pot either the 7, the 8 or the 9 at any time, and he'll win the rack. Nice shot in the 6. So here's the game ball, the 7 ball for 2-0. And then it goes. So immediately Bill has got a minor problem in his hands. 8 ball goes in, that will get respotted. So just a reminder, it's winner breaks, it's a race to 7. It is a handicap tournament, and it's double elimination. And 2 balls now. Well, it's almost married up to the 9. Hard to say whether that can cut from the right hand side of the table. Bill's played the safety. Checking the stream. Stream looks good. Dirties gets the kick in the 1, but immediately scratches into the middle. So Bill can either go for the 3 fouls here, because he's got a good opportunity to do that. He can stick him right onto the 7 ball, which is probably worth having a go at, because it's not really a great rack to try and run out with the 2 and the 4 and the 3 ball been tied up. So Bill's really got no option other than to try and nail this cue ball. I don't think he got there, did he? No, I think he can spin round that and kick it off the rail easy enough. Just checking the stream again. The stream looks good. Everything running smooth. Let's see if Bill can pot this too. He went for the bank, but it was never going to be a bank with a 6 in the way, and he's also opened up the 3 and 4, which might be a mistake. If Dirties can pot this too and get a sight in a 3, well, he's going to hook himself, or is he going to go far enough? Well, he's gone far enough. I don't know whether he can make the bank. He could just put a bit of left spin on that, spin around the 6 and make the bank. No, he didn't do anything. He hit it plain balls. It was only ever going to bounce straight back and hit the cue ball. And Bill needs to avoid the 9 here. Well, the 9's knocked the cue ball right into the middle of the table. This 4's off the rail, so it can be cut, but he's really relying on a bit of luck to get a good position on this 5. He's got no shot, I think. It's hard to judge any potting angle in that 5. I think he's got to run for cover. It looks as if he's trying to line it up. Dangerous shot. Again, dangerous because it's down to the business end of the rack. It's always something you've got to weigh up the consequences. Now, just a reminder, this is a working week for me, so as usual with Friday night 9 ball, it tends to run on past my bedtime, so I'll do as much of this as I can up until about 10:30, and then I have to pull the plug. Got to get my beauty sleep up at 4 AM, remember. Right, so this is Bill's chance, and he's got to get these 4 remaining balls without any mishaps. And this looks to be home and dry. So Bill reduces the deficit and breaks open rack number 4. And 4 balls going into the bottom left. He's perfectly on the 1 ball. And we've also lost the 5 ball, but these balls are sitting wanting to be stuck into holes somewhere. Well, this is going to be the important one, getting on this 3. I think he's a bit too straight on this 2 for comfort. And the further down the table that goes, the better. That's not bad. He can just roll onto the rail for the 6 ball. Just a gentle roll in the 3. And ideally, he just wants to punch this off the rail. How's he got there? Well, he's fine. Again, just a little gentle roll through, and he'll have the 8 into the middle, and just roll it in. So a quick response from Mr. Bill, and he's going to be back on an even keel, 2 racks all. A reminder where these guys are from. Bill's from the States, and Dirties is from Canada. So we're away in rack number 5. It's a dry break this time. Good evening, Simon. I think you're probably the only one that's watching. McClarkey was there a minute ago, or he was there just before I went live, I think. He's now in the room. This is tough. It's going to have to be a long 2-ball. And of course, looking at where the 3 is, Bill would have to sort of drag this 2 in with a lot of bottom and right English to try and probably squeeze up past the 7 if he was going to try and do that. He's tried to hold it for the middle pocket and he's gone too far. It can still be cut, but there's still a problem. There is actually the cue ball's running into the 7, so well, he's actually potted the 2 of them. I'll take that any day. That's a bonus. And now he's looking good here. Oh, he's kind of chickened out there, Bill. What did you do there? Well, he's maybe worried about hooking himself behind the 8, but he needed to get himself further out there. He's put himself under a bit of pressure here. And now he's out of line. And this is where you don't want to be making a mistake, because although the 7 ball is gone, that 8 ball is the next money ball for Dirties, and Bill looks as if he's lining up the cut here. And that's just squeezed in, used all of the pocket, and well, slightly into a blind pocket, but you get this 9 out of 10. So Bill's now into the lead, pretty much so. Not a difficult 9. How's the stream, guys? Let me know, because it's we're going in 1080 and it should be fine. Yep, 3-2 to Bill. And something went flying into the top right hand corner. Don't know what it was. Maybe the 8 ball again. No, this time it was a 3. And just, well, if you thin this 1 ball with left English, which Bill is doing, he's trying to spin in behind the 3 balls, maybe a bit too heavy. Yeah, just a wee bit too much weight there, a wee bit, an ounce or 2 off that, he'd have been stuck in behind those balls there. He just split them. Now, can Bill avoid hitting this 9 ball? There's a danger of the scratch if he hits this 9 ball. He's avoided that, but he's missed the 1. So, 4 ball and 9 ball are tied up, which for the time being doesn't do anybody any favours. 5 balls stuck in the right rail. Now, that 8 ball has now opened up the 4 and the 9. Now, a stun up. Well, he's played that wrong. Again, technique is what's letting a lot of the lower players, lower rated players down, is actually knowing what shot to play, how to play the right shot. And it was easy enough to stun up the table to get on that 4 ball, but you just sort of slammed into the 6. And a lot of players in Virtual Pool 4, there's not a lot they need to do to actually improve their game other than learning specific shots. And they'll only ever do that by watching how the best guys do it. So anyway, Bill back at the table. Again, a bit straight on this 6 ball. He's going to have to tweak the cue ball one way or another to try and get up the table. And that's why he's missed the 6. He had a lot of inside right hand English on that to check it back. Now the cue ball was fine because it's finished on the 7, but that's why he missed the 6. It looked a It looked a worse miss than it actually was. Now there's a double kiss there for Dirties. Well, this has got scratch written all over it if Bill plays this plain ball trying to thin it in. Oh, well, that's why he's just hit it to the rail. Now here's a golden opportunity for Dirties. If he takes his time, he just needs to pot the 6 and the 7. He's way off the mark with that one, and that's going to be teed up for Bill. Might have a little feather of left English in this just to bring it up the table. Keep it away from the 7. He's gone a wee bit further than he would like, but he shouldn't have any problem getting on the 8. Plenty of room to manoeuvre the cue ball. Nudged it off the rail. Well, Dirties got off to a flyer. He'd won the first rack before I even got in the room. And then went 2-0, but he's looking like going 4-2 down. Again, with the handicap system though, the rack scores can change very rapidly if Bill gets careless. That's another dry break, and I don't think Dirty's got any sight in this 1 ball. 2 ball is hidden in the top right hand corner behind the 5 and the 4, so he's went for the kick. He gets a kick, and just enough of the 1 ball showing for Bill to try and get this cue ball back up there. Well, the shot here is off the right hand side as we look at that 1 ball nearest the pocket. Get it as thin as you can and just try and come off the side rail and get up in amongst those balls up the top end there. There's plenty to get in behind if you can get a bit of luck. But he's, again, just went the other way and just brought the 1 into the game. Bill's going to be hooked. And the obvious thing that will happen here is scratching off the 2 ball. If he's kicking it off that rail, which obviously he has to, because you can't get it off any other rail. So there's still a bit of a mess up there. I think that 6 ball goes past the 9, does it? Yes, it does. Plenty of room. There shouldn't be a 2-minute delay in the stream. It's usually quicker than that, unless they're throttling things back. So Dirty's got himself in trouble here. Let's have a look, see what we've got. Well, he can't get to that 4 ball. Now, this is where you have to use your head here. Look at where the 9 is. If he doesn't get anywhere near this, Bill's just got an easy 4-9 for the rack. So what he should be doing is just rolling the 8 in amongst those balls to tie up the 4 and the 9. And it's still a 4-9 combo. Again, tactically, not a lot of thought went into that shot. And this is where a lot of players just go wrong. You have to concede the ball in hand in that situation, because look what happened. There you go. That's how to give away a rack, by not thinking about what you're doing. And in terms of actual, you know, explaining the obvious to somebody, you wonder why can't you see that as an obvious mistake. Why do you play that shot? That's what I wonder. You look at the situation, you think, well, I've got no real chance of doing anything here, so the best thing to do is to tie up the balls and concede ball in hand. Okay, you might be going for 2 fouls, but it still gives you a chance from actually just conceding a ball in hand and then a combo in the 9. Well, there's a result in. Gunnett's fallen asleep somewhere and forgot to turn up. Larry gets an easy victory. So it's now 5-2 to Bill, and that was a gift and a half he got there. Bill's overcut that. Oh, can he avoid hitting anything here? Yes, he can. It needs to keep running. Needs to keep going. It's not bad. Same again though. Cutting this 3 ball in. He's going to get up and down the table. And he's got to avoid hitting something, but he's got to control his pace as well. And that's better. And nothing really to do here other than pot the 4 ball with the right pace. And he's going all around the houses, but he's got the 5 into the middle. Now what's the angle on this one? Well, he's running up the table. Well, you could actually draw off this though, and draw over to where the 7 ball is, over by the middle pocket, and still play the 6. Again, he's gone for power, and somehow or other, he's got a shot. So this 6 ball, oh dear, what's he done here? Has he got enough of this that he can cut? Yes, he can. So this, to more or less keep himself in this match. That was well done. And it's back to 5-3. The 8 ball goes into the middle. Once again, the 8 will get respotted because that's one of Dirty's money balls. And he remains at the table, although he's got no shot. But he can play. I don't know whether he can squeeze that. No, he can't. Is he going for a 3 ball combo here on that 9 ball, trying to do something? Bill looking for the kick. Now look at that. Well, they aren't set, but that 4 and 8 is a billiard off the 4 onto that 8. Bill gets the kick. Hasn't got it safe, but there's nothing easy here. And I don't think Bill will be too alarmed at the moment, the way these balls are lying. Other than for his own sake when he has to get to the 4 and the 8. And now the one's tied up the 5. Now there is room to try and kick at that 1 from behind the 5. The danger's still the scratch though when you play that shot, but if you get lucky you can punch the 1 up the table. Those balls there are always going to stop the cue ball from running away, so it's just another easy starter for Bill. And now the other problem that Dirties has caused himself is the 4 and 8 are now open. So if Bill can get good on the 3, he's looking at the run out. Now that angle he's got in the 3 there is pretty good. It's not the best of angles, but he's got enough angle that he can force the cue ball off the side rail back across for the 4. He's looking as if he's playing a draw, and he's drawing long. Again, the danger if Bill had stunned it off the side rail was probably blocking himself out with the 7, so he's leaving himself more work to do. But he's got there. Well, the little draw into the middle of the table looks at the shot, or you can run around the angles. You've got the choice sitting in that position. So Bill just needs a little roll in the 9, and he'll need one more. He now leads by 6 racks to 3. But it's dry again. But now the difference in this rack is these balls have actually split pretty well, and the next mistake that Dirties makes could very well be his last. Well, he's comboed the 4 in, but hooked himself in the 1, I think. Can he catch the edge of that 1 off the rail? Yeah, that's what he tried, but he's knocked the 5 in instead, left a 1 over the corner. Maybe need to use that rail. Oh, he keeps going for lots of power. Well, at least he's given himself a shot. But the pressure's on with these sort of cuts. And he's overdone it. But let's see what that looks like. Well, he can't pot that from there, but he can certainly cut it to that end rail and keep distance. And that's a good shot. Well, this has to get safe, whatever happens. Now, can he get the angle to get to that 2 from there without any English? I didn't think he could, so here's Bill's chance. He gets his reward from the good safety. Ball in hand, quick look at the 3 ball. The problem we can see is going to be from the 7 to the 8, because that 7 is pretty close to the rail, and what you want to be doing is making sure you don't leave yourself too high an angle on this 7 ball, because that makes the shot 10 times more difficult. So the important shot now is how he gets onto this 7 off the 6. Easy enough, just to come off the side rail and back across. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. When you leave yourself angles like this, especially when this is a money ball for your opponent, it puts the pressure on. In it goes. Well, this should be a straightforward enough cut. It's close, but it's off the rail, and Bill should get this. nudges into the 9, and the 9's coming around. So Bill finishes off the match. Dirties will move over to the 1 loss side, and Bill wins by 7 racks to 3. So we'll have a look and see how things shape up. Well, we've had 2 forfeits already in the tournament. LS3 has won by forfeit. Tommy, you never showed up, and Larry's already won. So that's the first match that our results actually come in. And let's see how that looks now. Well, Mr. Bill is going to be playing McClarkey. Larry's sitting there to wait to play the winner. LS3's playing DJ Redo. Simanx is tied up with Columbus at 4 racks all. And what we're going to do is we're going to stick with this top bracket here. Get 2 good players going head to head, and we'll go in and see how Mr. Bill gets on with McClarkey. And we're already underway. McClarkey won the lag, and player 2, who is McClarkey, is getting the 7 ball as his extra money ball. Now, for those of you that don't remember or didn't see, when we were doing the VP4 US Open earlier this year, McClarkey is the player that put Bill out of the tournament, I think. Had a tremendous match, and Bill hardly got a look in. He played not necessarily out of his skin, but pretty damn well that day. And Bill knows what he's up against. And one thing's for certain in this game, that with Bill giving away the 7 ball, it is very likely that should McClarkey get a sniff, he's going to take it. But he has to get to the table first. Now this is just, it's pretty straight. He just needs to watch the cue ball here. Yeah, he's just cheated it into the pocket to keep that cue ball away from middle pocket. I'm just having a look at the snooker at the moment. Bill nudges the 8 ball in and nudges the 9 at the same time. Nasty little cut. In it goes. That was well done. And John Higgins leads Kyron Wilson by 11 frames to 9 in the race to 17 in the World Snooker semi-final. And they'll be playing another session tomorrow night, I think it is. Oh, sorry, tomorrow afternoon. That'll be their... Is that their final session? I can't remember. There's 4 sessions to the semi-finals. Bill goes all out for the bank. Doesn't get it. But although McClarkey's coming to the table, he's got a lot of work to do straight away. His cue ball's close to the rail. He's got the cut down this right hand side for the 3, but it is not likely that he's going to get good position on this 5. So he's decided just to play a safety. And that's all in the art of the game, is learning when is the right time to attack. I mean, if he potted a 3, he'd no shot in the 5 other than trying to get it safe. But Bill went all out for the cut into the blind pocket, and he got himself on the 5. He made a good effort there. Well, here's a chance for the bank, and this cue ball needs to run around the table to get down for that 5. Well, that's way off. Where's it going though? Again, not a great position in this 3. We've chosen just to run it in, and once again it's going to be the bank. Now this looks dead set for a bank on this 5, but he sent it to the rail too soon. Well, has that gone far enough past that pocket? No, it hasn't. So here's the chance McClarkey's been waiting on. And of course he doesn't need to worry about that 8 and 9 being sort of awkward together. He just needs to get to the 7 ball. And he's going to have to play a good one here because this is thin. It's so thin it might be the bank's the better option. No, he's gone for the cut, but he hasn't got out for the 7. Now what does he do? He's got an easy enough safety here. He can run behind that 8 and 9. Just bank the 7 up the left hand side. Well, he's went for the cut and the split. That's excellent. Brave shot. And he's got his reward. It wins him the rack. And we're all square. 1-all. And there's the result came in. DJ Redo has beaten LS3 by 7 racks to 1. McClarkey's broken off, but no joy. And Bill, well, he's got a simple enough kick on the 1, but is he lining up the jump? Looks as if he is. Out with the jump stick. Catches the edge of the 1. And he's got a shot in the 2. Because you've no real control over where that cue ball's going to end up. You just have to ride your luck. And there's another result come in. Simanx has beaten Columbus by 7 racks to 4. And the winner of this match, I believe, is going to be playing... yeah, the winner of this match is going to be playing Larry. So whatever happens, we're going to be sticking to watch that match. Is there anybody still out there? No.
What is that? What the fuck is that?
That was a bad one from Bill. And that's a gift for McClarkey. Overcut the 9. Well, all these balls pot. That 8 ball, I'm pretty certain, goes past the 9. Plenty of room. Oh, that knuckle hasn't done any favours there. It still can be cut, this 3. The cue ball's running, no. Oh dear.
Oh dear, how sad, never mind.
The old scratcheroo, and ball in hand to Bill, and he'll want to put this one away very rapidly. Well, that is awkward. It's awkward because you've got to avoid running into the 8 and 9. And he's managed to do that. The only problem now is, though, he's entirely the wrong angle on the 8, and he's really got to... Well, he's playing this with a lot of inside English to check the cue ball, stop it running away. And he's done okay. So Bill has redeemed himself after that miss the 9 ball in the last rack. It's now 2-all. And another ball flies into the top right hand corner. I think the 4 balls went into the bottom right. And that was the 5 ball that has gone in. But these are the type of racks Bill's got to run out, because if you're a 2,300 player and you get a ball in a break and you get a shot in the next ball and all the balls are lying in the open, there's no real excuse for not running out. It's all to do with getting that position. And there's a result through from the one lost side, Tommy Yu. Well, he must have turned up, but turned up late, because he's won his one lost side match against Gunnett by 4 racks to 3. Bill's sitting nice in the 6. Oh, Bill's left that short. Now again, he's putting pressure on himself. I mean, if you're going to make an error, you're much better to make an error and go too far and go beyond the up there. At least you've still got a reasonable enough shot. And he's overcut it again.
Oh dear, how sad, never mind.
Well, this time McClarkey's money ball has gone, so he has to go all out for the cut of the bank. And he's played it nicely, and he's back into the lead. And that's 2 racks that McClarkey has been given on a plate by, well, just not getting comfortable on the ball that matters. The first one was in the 9 ball in the earlier rack, and then getting himself short on the 8 ball. And Bill's missed a 2 there again, playing that with a lot of English to get that cue ball around the corner up for the 3. Now this could be significant if McClarkey can get himself through this rack, because that would be punishment indeed for Bill. And has he got it? Well, he can certainly make the angle. Just a little bit of spin, not a lot. He's not quite got there. With that type of shot, if you hit it too hard, there was just a wee bit too much pace for the English to take full effect. And Bill has got himself pretty good on the 4, but the cue ball I think is running into the 8 though. He's avoided the 8. Once again though, we can see where the problem lies. The problem is the 7's up there. He's going to have to come down for the 8. But once again, even before Bill gets there, he doesn't want to be finishing here on the 8. He wants to be anywhere up there, anywhere by the middle pocket. Gives you a better shot in the 8, because look where the 9 is. The 9's easy to get on. So don't overcook the 7. And this time, well, he should be fine. So this to square the match again. Rack number 7. And no joy. Well, that 3 ball may well help the 1 in if it hits the rail and bounces onto the 3. It probably still help it into the pocket. But there's plenty of room to get the 1 ball past the 3. How's his luck in the 2? That's unlucky. Stuck right behind the 9. Well, this time it's been reversed. Now Bill's got ball in hand. Everything's sitting there to be put away. And we're expecting him to run out. Well, I would be drawing this with a bit of bottom left, bottom right. Well, he's managed to get it that way. Is he going to come out behind the 4? Oh, he's nudged it safe. No, I'd have much preferred the draw with a little bit of bottom right. That would have avoided going anywhere near the 4 and leaving a fairly straightforward cut. So he's went for the long grass and he's played it well. Full ball snooker. Now that's probably just by the middle pocket on the right hand side where you would kick it to hit the 4. But McClarkey fancies a jump at this distance. And we'll see if he's chosen the right shot. Yep, always a struggle to try and jump over that 6 ball at that distance. So the only good thing in the whole situation is now the 8 and the 7, the 7 and the 5 are now blocking each other, and Bill's, well, tried to get into them to move them around. He's hit the 7 and left himself a bank on the 5, and in it goes. Now, does he play to run into the 9 and 7? This is where you take the risk. You need to get lucky to leave yourself a shot. And it's worked out nice. Hits the 9 ball full in the face. Leaves himself on the 7. And not a lot to do here either, just run through. So it looks very likely Bill's going to take the lead again. You get the feeling this one could go all the way. Free ball's going to go in this time. And a shot in the one. And it's going to be a 4-6 combo up in the top left because that's dead set, so there's no problem there. The only problem is giving yourself a sighter on it. And he's got to find that little gap, that little window, the window between the 7 and the 8, or the 8 and the 9, to give himself a sight on the edge of that 4, because all he needs to do is hit it and the 6 ball's going in. And, well, I don't know what he tried there, but that certainly didn't work. Oh, this is a toughie. This is tough. Tough as well to get on the 5. Good evening, Potman. Welcome to the show. You're on VP4 Live TV. Well, McClarkey got himself on the 5. Missed the 4. Well, the 5-9 combo's on. I think you've just got to play the shot. Much better to run through to the rail. This is a tough combo at that angle. Oh, he played that nice. Where's the cue ball going? Cue ball's fine. So we're back all square. That was not an easy combo. Playing it, having to play at that angle. Now, if Bill plays this too hard, this 2 ball's just going to run along that top rail and he's going to have no shot on it. Has to be really gentle. And he's done that right. And meanwhile, let's have a look at the 7. Plenty of room past the 8. I'm going to have another quick look and see what's happening in the snooker. Well, Higgins is at the table. He's leading by 12 frames to 9. The bank on the 6. And that's going to double bank. That's going to go in sweet. Well, I don't think there's ever been anything more than one rack between these players so far. Looks like Bill's going to go back into the lead again. And he just overcooked it again. A huge area to put that cue ball into to give yourself a much easier shot than the 9 than this. That's not going to get there.
What is that? What the fuck is that?
Well, an easy one for McClarkey. So it's 5-4. Yeah, I saw John Higgins the next day, though. He looked totally knackered. But he just can't shake off this young boy. He's got a 3-frame lead again, but I still think anything can happen in the match. Now, does that... I don't think he can cheat that. No, just playing it safe. Well, this is a little delicate shot in the 2 if he's going to try and just hook McClarkey behind the 6. No, he's gone for it. I didn't think it went past the 6. I should have looked closer. Well, if you add up the frames, right, they've played 2 sessions. This is a 3rd session. The first 2 sessions was 16 frames. 8 in each session. There's 8 in this one as well. So if you add up the total and take that away from 24, you know how many frames are left. So it was what, 13-9? Well, you can try and play this gentle, or you get the cue ball right over to the right hand side. He's played it gentle and he's sitting good. So we're going to be back 5-all again, all square. So 5 racks all. Let me have a look at this. I know, 12-9 it is. Well, 12 and 10 is 22. So they've played. They're in the 22nd rack, are they not? Frame, I mean, no rack. So I think they've got another 2 frames to play tonight. I might be there or thereabouts. Another 2 frames before the end of the session. Mind you, it's 9 o'clock, so they're definitely not far off that. Well, Bill had the right idea there. I think he was trying to pinch a bit there, trying to split the 3 and open it up. He's got it safe. Now, the danger with playing the jump across the table is always bouncing off the table, especially with the 2 ball close to the rail. He's managed to avoid that. Where's the 2 going? Well, he should get this 6 ball in. The 6 ball's off the rail, and it doesn't need to be... You don't need to use a lot of power. You just need to help the 6 ball to go into the pocket. And you don't want the 2 ball to be running away again. Well, he's trying to play the billiard, and he's got it. But he's left himself behind the 2. These are always tough. And I think he's got to just hope he runs into something here. The angle doesn't look that great. That middle pocket's in danger, so he's playing this with bottom to avoid that. And now it's just going to be the little run through. Try and nail Bill to the 5. But I think Bill can just feather an edge of that 3 ball here and try and hide back in behind the 9 and the 5 again. But he's not got it. Now how does that look for the billiard? don't think it's sitting that great. We actually need to punch this 3 quite hard and try and nudge onto the 9 to make the billiard. No, he's went for the cut. Excellent. But no shot in the 4. Out with the jump stick again. This is again just a hit and hope. First of all, you're just trying to hit the 4. We've tried to cut it, and it's off the rail, so there is a thin cut on the 4. If he plays this plain ball, the cue ball's running up towards the 5 and the 9. And then again, you're just hoping you get lucky. You've no real great idea where the cue ball's going to end up. So he's nudged the 5. And he's got a shot on into the middle. Needs to keep rolling this cue ball. And that's pretty good. He can make a little angle off that with a little spin. But you've got to watch the pace. Again, you don't want to fall north of that 9 ball, nearer the short rail. You've got to come across and leave yourself higher on it. So you're better to underhit it. So he's playing it from distance. And played it well. So McClarkey is the first player to get to the hill, leading by 6-5 and breaking off the rack number 12. 5 ball goes into the right middle, sitting pretty on the 1, and all these balls are there for the taking. So the outcome of this match can be decided right now with an open table. And I think, well, I think it all hinges on getting good on the 3. It's going to be a long one. And if he's going to run through, he just has to avoid hitting anything. And he's hit the 4, and that's a disaster.
Oh dear, outside, never mind.
Well, the scratch has been made. So here's Bill's lifeline. Well, he could have played the 4-9 combo there. Deciding to go for the run out. And he's gone a little bit further in the 6th than he really would want. But he's going to be going up the top end of the table for this 7. And there's the result come in. Simanx has beaten DJ Redo by 7 racks to 2. The 7 wiped its feet, and Bill's got the wrong angle in this 8, and he's got to get this cue ball moving. Well, he's playing it with inside, and he's leaving himself a high cut. Well, this is risky. I would have ran that around the table with a lot of spin. This is tough. And he's overcooked it. And it's going to be all over. An easy 9 ball for McClarkey to win the match by 7 racks to 5. I think Bill should have let that cue ball run around the table. But that's the way it goes. That's the choices you make, and that's the difference between winning and losing. So, Bill moves over to the 1-loss side. A few results have come through. We've got DJ Redo, who, well, sorry, not DJ Redo, Simanx has just won his match. So he's now sitting there on the winner's side waiting to play the winner of the McClarkey-Larry match. And that's going to be another good match. McClarkey will be getting a handicap in that one as well against Larry. He'll probably be getting the same, I would think the same handicap, probably getting a 7-ball. And we're going to just join that as well. Larry probably have been practicing away there. And McClarkey has probably gone for a bathroom break or something. And another result come through from the one loss side. Dirties has beaten Columbus by 4 racks to 3. And we'll join the room and we'll just wait on the players arriving. So both the players are in. We're about to lag off. I think that is Larry on the left. Oh, not bad. Larry just won it. In fact, McClarkey's getting a 5-ball, which is, I would suggest, is fairly generous. But that puts pressure on Larry. If he makes a mistake early on, he's going to lose a rack pretty quickly. But he gets a ball in the break. The 2 balls going in. He's got a shot in the 1, and once again, this has got to be a run out. Bloody camera playing up again. Will that him back to 2 frames behind, is it? $12-10 it will be then. Yep, 12-10 to Higgins. I think this is probably, so that's, no, 12-10 is 22, so there are another 2 frames, this frame and another one to go before the end of the night. Oh, that's a good shot by Larry. He's going to need another good one here. This is tight in the rail and playing it from the wrong end of the table. He's got a long way to travel without nudging that middle pocket. Oh, and it's going in clean. Controlled the pace of the cue ball well, sitting pretty behind the 9. And that's a good run out there for Larry. Had to work at it though. But it gives him the first rack. Where's the 9-ball going? It's going into the danger zone. It's hanging over that top right hand corner pocket. Larry's came up dry, and look where the 2-ball is. This is going to be a quick rack. And all that McClarkey needs to do is just roll the 1-ball in and roll that cue ball up the table by about a foot to avoid the 5. and he'll very quickly tie this match up. That was short and sweet. Now the 8 ball's going into the top right this time. Look at where the 9 is again. And, well, he's got a choice here. He could reverse bank the 1 up and down the table, try and nudge it onto the 9. Because I don't think it cuts past the 4. Well, it's tight. It does go, but I'd be banking it. Where's the cue ball going? There you go. Well, he certainly didn't play that. He'll be a liar if he said he did. I'm saying he didn't. I'm saying he went for the cut and he got lucky. And if he's listening to this, he should own up right now. But all that matters is McClarkey's leading by 2 racks to 1. The 6 ball has gone in. He's played the combo on the 1. The 2 follows the 1. And he's on the 3. And this is very quickly going a bit sour here for Larry. Although having said that, McClarkey's played a dud shot in that one. He's left himself high and dry in the 4. He's going to have to go up and down the table. He's kissed into the 7. He's missed the 4.
What is that? What the fuck is that?
Well, that's what I'm asking. I think he got excited there. Got ahead of himself. And Larry had to bend that cue ball just to try and hit the 4. And he's got it reasonably safe. There's always the invitation to bank it though. And McClarkey just, well, playing the shot that a lot of snooker players play, trying to send the 2 balls to either rail on either side of the table. Larry not even interested in banking the 4, he's just trying to keep distance. Because of course, we need to remember that McClarkey's getting the 5 ball, so if Larry makes one mistake on this 4 and leaves it on, he's more or less losing the rack. But the mistake has been made, and Larry's going to have to send this cue ball all around the table here. Surely, is he going to try and get up with right English from this angle? Or he's just preferring to leave the long cut in the 5. Yep, that's what he's going to do. The problem with that is, though, look at where the 7 is. He's going to have to leave himself awkward in the 7 as well if he doesn't want to do anything with the cue ball. And the 7 ball is nailed to the rail. Oh dear, well, good luck, that's all I'll say. This is not where you want to leave yourself with a shot in the 7, but at least he's taking care of McClarkey's extra money ball. It's gone. So now both players have to get rid of the last 3 balls to win the rack. Oh, he's played that well, but there's the downside of it. It's the scratch into the middle pocket.
Man's got to know his limitations.
So it's a gift for McClarkey, and somehow or other it's ended up 3-1 now. I'm going to say Larry's problem started there by not trying to get the cue ball around the table onto that 5 and get himself better on the 5 ball. When you start playing things at distance, you're going to leave yourself much more work to do. And credit to Larry, he made the cut in the 7, but he had no control over what he was doing with the cue ball. He had to make the potting angle in the 7, and of course the downside of that is it was a dead scratch into the left middle. And that's why he's now 3-1 down. McClarkey's broke off. No joy, so just to push out. And McClarkey takes on the challenge. He was left that one ball in the middle of the table and he's potted it. Likewise, he's got no shot in the 3. It's not a great bank, this 3 ball. And this time, it's been left as an invitation to Larry. And it'll squeeze past the 9. Can even cheat it in off that side rail slightly. But the pace, if you hit it the wrong pace, it'll just no go in. Oh, you cheated it too much. So, once again, McClarkey just has to pot the 3, the 4 and the 5, and that looks fairly straightforward. Just kill the cue ball where that 4 ball is, and it's 4-1. Oh, Larry's swimming against the tide here a bit. That 5 ball handicap is always stacking the odds against Larry. It puts pressure on Larry to run the table when he gets a sniff. But a couple of positional choices have backfired on him. And that's partly the reason he's found himself 4-1 down. And now he's out of line again and having to pull off another tough 2 ball and get position on this 3. Wilson's at the table again. He's behind, but he's got well, if he can get these reds opened up, he's got a chance of stealing another frame back and getting to within 1. Well, I think you just baby this 4 ball in and run out behind the 5. Take the 5 into the same pocket. Well, that's neither here nor there. I don't know whether Larry made up his mind what he was going to do, but he's underhit it and he's left himself one of these awkward shots again. And this isn't easy, considering he's got to think about getting on the 6. And he's way off it. And he needs a bit of luck. And he's not got it. So it's an easy, fairly straight roll in 5 for McClarkey to steal another rack. And another gift. And once again, it was just that little bit short in the position and running out of line. Meanwhile, Mr. Bill is battling his way in the 1-loss side. He's beaten Tommy Yu by 4 racks to 2. So he's still in the tournament. And judging by the way things are going here at the moment, it won't be long before Larry's joining Bill over in the 1-loss side. Unless things take a drastic turn. Maybe Higgins is showing signs of weariness again. Well, if Wilson wins this frame and they'll get into the final frame of the night, it could be all square by the end of the night. And I've got a short shift tomorrow morning. I'm only on to 10:15, 6 o'clock in the morning to 10:15. I'll be back down the road, all ready for the afternoon session. And just a reminder to anybody that might be watching this, it's always a problem I've got with Friday Night 9 Ball. It starts at 8 PM now, and that makes it even more likely that I'm going to be going to bed before the tournament's finished. My cut-off point has to be 10:30, so we've got another hour, well, almost another hour and 10 minutes to go to watch some of these matches. And then I'm afraid, folks, Beddy by looms. So McClarkey's missed the shot into the middle on that 4. It wasn't easy. Left Larry a 4-6 combo at distance. Well, the 5's just off the rail. Not a lot to do. Just putting a little soft draggy shot on this cue ball just to kill the pace. Well, here's the crucial shot, getting onto the 8 so that you can get up for the 9. Sounds simple when you say it, and it looks simple when you look at the lay of the balls, but very easy to get this wrong. And is he going too square? Yeah, we're back into this no man's land shot. Now, if he's just to pot this plain ball, the cue ball's going down for the 9. So he has to give this 110% and not worry about the cue ball. It may well be going close to that top right hand corner pocket, and he's went all out for the cut. And he hasn't got there. And a good angle for McClarkey to run the 8 in and just run up and down the table. Well, he's going to go on the short side of the 9, so he's got the cut back. And these are always nasty. Very easy to cut this to the near jaw. But he's played it well, and it's now 6-1. No, that's something I've never been... I mean, let's be honest, even if I wanted to go to the Crucible, I've got no chance of getting tickets. The 2019 tickets have gone on sale as far as I know, and I bet they're pretty much sold out. You can't get a ticket. There's people there sitting with season tickets. There's guys that have been going there for the last 30 years. And even if you got a seat, you'd be sitting away up at the back. You're much easier sitting watching the telly. Very difficult to get tickets for the Crucible. And I would have to take a week off or a fortnight off and make it a holiday and actually get in there and stay in a bloody hotel and all that shit. Cost a fortune. I've been to the Scottish Open 2 or 3 times when it was in Glasgow. When it was at the SECC, it was also in a hotel in Glasgow at one time. I went to it there as well. So I've seen a lot of these boys playing. I'm pretty certain I saw Mark Williams and Ronnie O'Sullivan in one of the tournaments. But that was when Mark Williams was playing a lot crappier than he is now. Tickets for the Crucible, I haven't looked, but I'm guessing it's like probably won't be far off in the region of 50-60 quid, and maybe slightly more for like finals night. They're probably asking 100 quid or something a ticket. I know it's £90 to get into the Open Championship this year up at Carnoustie. They want 90 quid for you to stand in the piss and rain sometimes. So Larry's at the point of no return in this match. He's trailing by 6-1. And he's got McClarkey nailed in behind the 3-ball here. And, well, what do you do in this situation? Do you concede ball in hand to Larry? Do you move any of these balls around? Because he's got no way of trying to tie a ball up here. He just cannot get out to that 2-ball. Well, can he make an angle off that rail? Well, I think he's probably much better just forcing Larry to go for the run out. That would be my choice. Well, he's missed it, so now it's all up to Larry. Ball in hand. And if Larry's going to err on the safety side here, when he runs through, he's going to run through to the middle pocket. He's not going to run any further to leave himself high in the 3, and he's almost overdone it. And he's going to have to spin to make the angle here, and he's going to spin behind the 4 with this bottom English here. So he's going to be good on the 4. Although he spun a bit more again. And this is a little tester. You've got to go 100% for it and drag it to the right hand side of the table as we look. And that always puts a doubt on the shot itself. He's run it up the middle of the table. He's got the pace right. And now it looks like it's a little run through. And try and get right behind that 6 for the combo onto the 7. Well, he's left himself a bit more angle. Didn't want to risk running into the pocket. But this has got to be played gentle as well. You can't let the 6-ball run away. And this needs to come back by a couple of inches, so he needs a little drop, and that's perfect. So Larry's managed to stem the tide at the crucial time. He's got one back, but he's got the proverbial mountain to climb, as the saying goes. And I'm going to have another quick look and see what's happening in the snooker. Larry's broke off. 2-ball goes into the bottom right hand corner. I think something else might have dropped. Yep, the 8-ball's gone again, and he's got not the best of shots available in the 1. Well, Wilson must have won that frame, because we're into the next one. It's alright, this is the final frame of the night. Higgins at the table. He's going to have to get a cannon into these reds very quickly. There's only one left in the open. Well, he's got a shot. So the 1 has been rattled. McClarkey at the table. Going to have to work the cue ball with this 3-ball here to get over for the 4. That's a good shot. Plenty of room. But he's going to have to play the 5 from distance, because he's dead straight in the 4. Is it running far enough? Yes, it is. So McClarkey, unless he makes a right hash of this 5-ball, is going to win the match by 7 racks to 2. And that's the pressure of having a 5-ball handicap against somebody that can pot a ball. So Larry's moving over to the 1-loss side. Let's have a look at the bracket now. And McClarkey is going to be playing Simanx. And meanwhile, Mr. Bill is trailing by 2 racks to 1 against DJ Redo. We'll move in and look at that match. Oh, it's now 2-all. Remember, this is a 1-loss side match, so it's only a race to 4. And DJ Redo is getting a 7 and out. Well, Higgins is on what looks like a break of 44 on the last frame of the night. There's another couple of reds out in the open. And he's looking to keep his 2-frame lead. Well, the 8-ball is awkward. And oh dear, that's an absolute disaster.
Oh dear, how sad, never mind.
An easy one for DJ Redo with ball in hand. And it's 3-2. And Bill's hanging on by his fingertips here. The break is dry. No, it's not. The 2 balls just going into the middle. 3 balls certainly not going to pot. Although there is an angle there to try and get the cue ball down in towards that 3 and 4 and move something. And he's not made any attempt to do it, so he's going to try the combo. He's going to have to cut that 3 away towards the 4. And decided to just leave things safe. What are you laughing at, Simon? Oh, what's going on here?
What is that? What the fuck is that?
Well, he's managed to kick himself out of the problem, but he's left it on for Bill. And Bill, at the point of no return, has to run out. But look at where the 6 ball is. It's going to have to be a 6-8 combo. He's pretty straight in the 5, so he's not going to do anything here other than try and leave this 6 and 8 straight in. And it's 7 and out to DJ Redo, so Bill cannot leave this hanging. He's got to get it in. And that will do. And he's sitting nice on the 6. He can come up that side rail. And if he can get close to the rail, that would actually be better. Because he's now, well, he's actually pretty straight. He doesn't want to try and squeeze anything more out of this 7. So he's just running it in. And here's the tester. Do you play it into the top corner or into the middle? Because if he runs through, he's a dangerous scratching. But he's just played it gentle. And he's got one back, and we're all square, and we're into the final rack decider. And again, a ball has gone in. I've totally missed it. I don't know what the hell one it was that went in. The 6 is gone. He's on the 1. And these are the ones that you expect 2,300 players to run out. But straight away, Bill's got a problem. He's pretty straight on a 2. And a lot of work to do. He's going to leave the long 3. As long as he doesn't hook himself behind the 4.
Man's got to know his limitations.
He's played the jump. Where's the cue ball going?
What is that? What the fuck is that?
Well, it's going from bad to worse here. DJ Redo with 7 and out. Just needs to roll the 5 in. And it's all over for Bill this week. Roll the 5 and he's on the 7. He surely cannot miss the 7. And the angle's going to take the cue ball away from the pocket anyway, so no risk of scratching after it. And DJ Redo wins the match by 4 racks to 3. And that's the perils of scratching at the wrong time. So, the tournament moves on. DJ Redo moves through. Bill will have to try again next week. Now, Larry has got problems as well. He's given 6 and out to LS3 on the 1 loss side. Larry's up 1-0 at the moment. And meanwhile, McClarkey is playing Simax for the hot seat. And they're just in the first rack. Simax is getting 7 and out, but what we're going to do is we're going to move over and have a look and check out how Larry's doing. Right, let's see where LS3's from. Larry's from the States, of course. LS3 is from the UK. Larry trying to leave himself the 6-9 combo here. He's gone a bit too far again. And this isn't easy. Or is he going to try and squeeze the 6 in? No, he's played the combo. So it's 2-0 to Larry. I'm going to have a quick look back at the snooker. Oh, the snooker's by. Higgins must have ran out that frame then. Must still have his 2-frame lead at the end of the night. Larry plays the push out. I've never seen this guy LS3 playing. What's he got? Knocked. Higgins knocked. What, he got another century? 13-11. So he needs 4 more frames tomorrow to go through to the final. Larry plays the bank, but not any great shot here in the 2. I'm just going to try and feather the edge of the 2 and hide behind the 6. Try and not move that 2 at all, really. Just catch it and no more. If he's going that side. Well, the danger of going this way is that he's nudging the 2 towards the rail near the 9. So he has to get it hidden. And he's managed to do that, because there was always the danger if his opponent could see that too, he's going to slam it onto the 9 and try and make the combo. But he's hidden it well. Well, this 8 ball, when Larry gets to it, assuming he pots the 4, the 5 and the 7, the 6 and the 7, the 8 ball would be getting rolled into the left middle, but the problem immediately is going to be from the 6 to the 7, and he's got to get the right side. Well, he's nudged the 7 out. He's got a dead straight in 5, and he probably just wants to roll past the middle pocket here with this cue ball. He's almost there. So he's got a good angle to pot the 6. Just run around the corner. 2, possibly 3 rails over to the right hand middle pocket. That's where he wants to be. And with this 7, he can go off the end rail with maybe a little feather a right and come over to the right for the 8 into the middle. Well, he's not taking that chance, he's leaving it long. Well, Larry is going to go 3-0 ahead. Well, 2 or 3 balls have gone in there. I think they all went into the same pocket nearly. So we've lost the 2, the 7 and the 8, and Larry's on the 1. And well, fully expect him to run this rack out here. Got a big area to get the cue ball into to get on this 3, but once again he's no taking the risk. He's leaving himself the high cut in the 3, and it can always go out of shape when you're playing these distance shots if you don't judge it right. And that's, well, he's overhit it to the extent he's gone past for the 4 into the middle. We'll give him the benefit and say that he played that. These are the ones where you try and leave them by that left middle pocket or the right middle pocket, just down below it. You don't want to come up behind the 6 towards the bottom rail. And he's played that pretty well, and he's got a good angle to come across the table for the 9. He can play it either way. You can stun up the table, you can come off the right hand side rail and over to the left. You have 2 choices how you play this. And he's got himself in the perfect position, staring down the 9 ball and this to win the match 4-0 and march on in the tournament. So Larry wins against LS3 by 4 racks to 0. Now how's that taking shape? Well, Larry is now going to be up against it again, because he's going to have to play DJ Redo, and he's going to be giving him a fairly handy, healthy handicap, I should say. And on the winner's side, McClarkey, who is given 7 and out to Simanx. McClarkey's 2 racks to 0 down, so we'll nip in and watch that. So this is the hot seat match to see who reaches tonight's final. McClarkey looks as if he's going to get his first rack on the board. Into rack number 3. It's dry. What's he got? An extremely thin cut into the middle, but more than likely going to be a safety, I would think. Or is he looking to cut that? No, I think he's trying to run away from it. We'll soon find out. Well, either way, he's got it safe. Well, it's an open table here for McClarkey. Just needs to drop the 2 in. Leave the 3 and 4 into the same top right hand corner pocket. 5 goes in past the 7, no problem. 6 is over the right hand corner pocket at the bottom of the table, so this looks good for the run out. And it's all of a sudden gone wrong.
What is that? What the fuck is that?
So the old kick and hope. Oh, he's left it on. And remember, Simanx has 7 and out, so what's left for him is easy enough. But oh dear, oh dear. He's left himself behind a 6, and he can only reverse bank it, but he's decided just to play it safe. McClarkey's got an easy enough safety. He can cut the 6 back to the bottom rail and get the cue ball up behind the 8. At least that's what he should possibly be trying. Hasn't got the angle to do it though, and that's come out. And it's a chance. Is that going to go tight to the pocket? No, just hanging in the edge. So a second bite at the cherry for McClarkey. And as long as he can get the cue ball out into the table, he should have a shot in the 9. I'd be playing this with a bit of left-hand English just to check it off the rail, leave the 9 into the right middle. Which is what he's done. Gone a wee bit more than he would like, but he should still get it. So we're all square now. 2 racks all in the hot seat match. And dry break. Well, that needed to draw a lot more into the 5 to leave yourself the 2 ball into that corner. Well, it's actually a good angle here on this 3 ball. If you let it run off the rail, down there, in there, and out here, you could have the 4 into this bottom left-hand corner pocket. But I don't think you can see the 3. That's part of the problem. I thought he could see the 3, but he was actually hooked on it. But he got an edge of the 3. Well, he got the second part of the job in hand. He got it done, but forgot about the 3 ball, and he's got lucky. McClarkey hooked in the 3, just the old kick and hope here. Played it at such a pace to hopefully finish in behind one of those balls, and that's worked out nice. Easy enough to kick the 3 off the side rail, mind you, and the same problem. Just got to get lucky. Oh, the old brain's beginning to shut down at bedtime. We've not long to go, but I certainly won't be able to stay for the final. I doubt it very much. I'll go as long as I can. Well, where's the cue ball going?
Oh dear, how sad, never mind.
So, it's ball in hand to Simhanks, provided he's paying attention. If you're not paying attention, then you won't be aware of the ball in hand. Well, he is paying attention. Now, how does he get on the 4? Well, that's in the middle of no man's land.
What is that? What the fuck is that?
Well, that's actually quite good when you look behind it, because it goes past the 5. That's actually a lot better than I thought it was. I'll take that back. I'll take that one back. Oh, has he got lucky again? Has he left it into the middle this time? Well, it's an awkward angle. It's not easy to judge these when they're quite close to one another. Picking out the potting angle. and got to think about that 6 ball as well. And that's the problem. Had to get a lot more power into that to get the cue ball up the table. And he's left with a one-shot chance at the reverse bank here. And he's decided he's not risking it. Just feathered the 6 and no more. Moved it about a quarter of an inch. And Simanx will get the same choice. He can reverse bank it, but he's only going to get one choice. Well, he's went for the bank in the middle. He's double banked it. Oh, no, he hasn't. I thought he'd got away with that one. But the pressure's on McClarkey here because he's going to have to get from that 8 ball, the 7 up to the 8. And we're now into the money ball territory. The 7, 8, 9 are all Simanx's money balls. McClarkey's got back for the 8, got a good angle on it, and should drop behind that 9, no problem. Where is it going? Ah, he's okay. So, this to take the lead. Right, a quick look at the bracket and we'll have an update in the score. And well, Larry is really up against it. He's given 6 and out to GJ Redo, and he's already, well, he's now got 1 on the board. He's 3-1 down. DJ Redo just needs another rack to send Larry packing. At least Larry's in the money though. He's guaranteed 145 $. But the higher rated players have all been finding it tough. Already lost Bill, giving away the handicap. But as I say, if the higher rated players are making mistakes at the wrong time, that's why the handicap's there. They pay the price severely because of it. But when you're given like 6 and out and 5 and out in a race to 4, you're really back against the wall. Meanwhile, in this match, McClarkey leads by 3 racks to 2. The reverse bank this time by Simanx. Now, if he can pot this 5 and get on the 6, he should have an easy 7 ball to win the rack. But what's he done here? Oh, he's missed a 5. And I think he's got lucky again. And it's going to be the jump for McClarkey. Now, how is he going to try and get a sight on this 6? He's going to be really lucky if he does, because there'll be no pace in this cue ball by the time it gets to the 5. And it's only going to roll along this bottom rail. He's now into his extension. He's left the 5 hanging, but that was the problem. You look where the cue ball is, he had absolutely no shot in the 6. He was just really trying to dig himself out of a problem there. Now, how's Simanx's luck? Well, it's no good. But is he left a combo? Well, it's nowhere near set. He's going to have to make that. But he's going to try and hide the cue ball, I think. Feather the 6, or what's he doing? Well, he's not covered it, but it certainly can't be potted from there. And McClarkey can try and hook him behind the 8. He's hit it too hard. Is that somebody chatting in a PM but typing in the wrong window? Hey, I'm in the middle of something, can't play right now. I don't think Ed Ball knows where he is. I don't know what the hell he's doing. Anyway, McClarkey back at the table. Well, anywhere again over on the right hand side of the table, up by the middle pocket, and it will give you a shot in the 8. Oh, has he overcooked that? No, he's just bouncing. That's perfect. That was excellent. Could have easily hooked himself behind the 9. But now we have a bit of breathing space coming up for McClarkey. This for 4-2. Five ball goes in. Well, this is a sort of shot to nothing if he gets it. The bank on the 1 could be a double bank, but he should be on the 2. You still watching, Potman? Is there anybody still watching? Oh, where's the cue ball going?
Oh dear, outside, never mind.
Oh, ball in hand to Simanx. And he needs to get that cue ball out of there. And Larry is out of the tournament. Oh, he's fluked to 6. How jammy is that? He's going to have to get a bit lucky here in the 7. And I think he has. He's left it tough. So DJ Redo has beaten Larry by 4 racks to 2. And Larry was on a hiding to nothing there with that sort of handicap in such a short race. Oh, that nudge on that middle pocket jaw hasn't done McClarkey any favours. This is a nasty one on this 8 ball. And that was always going to be the problem. So it's a gift for Simanx to get 1 back. So back to 4-3 to McClarkey. Remember, we're back in the winner's side with a hot seat match, race to 7. 8 ball was hanging over the middle pocket, but the 1 ball has just helped it in. And no shot on the 2. Right, let's look at the 4. Well, from this side, the 4 certainly goes into the opposite middle. Or it goes into that top right hand corner, provided you can get on it. And where the 3 ball is would suggest that it's going to be a long 4. The 5 goes past the 9, so there are no problems up there. I don't know what Ed's talking about, but I'm saying I think he must have thought he was in a... Somebody opened a PM to him, asking him for a game, and then he's typed in the wrong chat, his reply. And McClarkey's gone too far. And now he's in that trouble zone. It's neither here nor there. But either way, whatever he chooses, it's not easy. But he's played it well. Controlled the pace as best as he could to leave him the shot in the 8. So this is the important one. Should be on the 9, no problem. And this to open up the gap again. So it now goes to 5-3. Well, McClarkey has now gone favourite for the tournament, but should he win this match, it's likely that he's going to be given a hefty handicap to whoever he's going to play in the final. But this match isn't over yet. Anything can still happen. And that's going to... Oh, I thought I was going to bank there. It just caught the 5. But it's gone clean safe. I think there's just a tiny edge of that 1 showing. But it's going to cut towards the 6. And that's a dead set combo, I think. It most certainly is. Now, can McClarkey hold himself together here to take this out? Plenty of room to get on that 5. Just don't hook yourself behind the 7. Well, I think he can just hit that jaw and avoid the scratch. Had to cheat the pocket though, but it ain't got there. So here's a lifeline for Simanx. He just needs to get out onto the 7, so he doesn't need to do a lot with the cue ball. Well, he's gone a lot further than he would like, and this is a tester for him. Oh, he's hung it. Oh dear. And it's a gift in the end for McClarkey. Well, that's paying the price of just getting out of shape again. It's all about judging that pace and control, but when an object ball is close to the pocket, or in the pocket more or less, it's very difficult to judge the control of the cue ball. It's one of the hardest shots in the game. And meanwhile, McClarkey now leads by 6 racks to 3. He's potted the 5 and the 7 off the break. Absolutely no shot in the 1, just to push out. And really should be banking up and down the table behind the 1, which is what he's done. On the low side of it. Inviting Simanx to play the reverse bank if he wants, which he's gone for. He's knocked a 6 in, but he's hooked himself behind the 2. And the miscue.
Oh dear, how sad, never mind.
So, ball in hand. Well, this is still a tester for a run out because it's not sitting pretty. This 3 ball's awkward. And he's played well to get on that too. 2 goes past the 9. Now, is he going to try and nudge into this 8 and 3? Because he's got an angle to do it. No, he's just trying to drop behind it, but he's hung the 2. Well, 2's definitely going in because that's easy enough to pot. But too much fizz on the cue ball. Is it? Or does that 3 ball cut? I don't think he can get to the cutting angle in that. Oh, he's fluked to 3 as well.
What is that? What the fuck is that?
And he's on the 4. And he's on the 8. Well, Simax has got a roundabout way of doing things, but he's got one back. So it's 6-4. Ball in the break as well. 3 ball has gone. What the hell went in there? Was that a money ball that went in? Or was it the 2? These balls are moving too quickly for my eyes. I can't see them get in the pockets. Well, it's now 10:15 for anybody that's still watching. And let's have a look at the bracket while this is going on. We can see Larry has gone out. So DJ Redo is waiting on the loser of the match that we're watching at the moment. And I would suggest to you that... oh, what's happened here?
Oh dear, how sad, never mind.
Well, it's a gift for McClarkey to go through to the final here. If he can take out these remaining balls. Oh dear. Well, it's gone from bad to worse. They've both got the disease. And McClarkey maybe just racing to get to the final when he should be potting balls to get to the final. Just in a bit too much of a hurry. And meanwhile, Simax back at the table. Has hooked himself in a 6. So he might as well have a slam at this as well. Well, there's a little tester, a little dead straight roll into the edge of that middle pocket, and the 6 ball will drop in. Oh, he's knocked it in. That's a lot firmer than I would have played it, but it gets the job done. And a simple 7. 8 back into the right middle, and the match is over. Well, where's he going? He's going the opposite side. Letting the cue ball run a bit more than he really needed to there. And that's where it goes wrong. When you start trying to play the fancy shots, you can dig a hole for yourself. And that's why he's hung the 9. When you have the simple choice of a shot, you play the simple shot. Now, when are people going to learn? That's what you do. You don't try and be flashy, because you might live to regret that, because it's now 6-5. And as they say in snooker, the balls never forgive you. If you start taking liberties and not playing the right shot and the simple shot, then you might never get another chance. Simax breaks off in rack number 12. It's come up dry. So now McClarkey's put himself under a bit of pressure here. He's got a chance to thin cut the 1. Went to bank it onto the 4, but the 1's gone out of line now. Well, that could possibly be a billiard onto the 7 to knock the 7 in, and that's what he tried. And he's got away with it again. Right, see you later, Simon. Thanks for watching. But this is definitely going to be the last match. I'm going to head to bed. Well, that was a good cut in the 2. Now, can Simax just hold himself together, take his time, and he's drawn past the 7, and he's on the 5, and a little roll through in the 5, a kill shot in the 6 ball, and he's got the 7 into the right middle, and we're going to a final rack decider. He's got to play the right shot here and kill it. Don't draw it, just kill it. And he's ran through, and he's got that little nasty angle. It could have been a lot simpler than this, but in it goes. And like I say, don't take liberties. Simax breaks off in the deciding rack. He comes up dry, but it's gone safe. Well, if you're listening to this, you should have just rolled that ball in. Rolled it in, left it and rolled it into the middle. Instead of letting the cue ball run about and try and do fancy things. And that 2-3's a combo. Dead set on the rail. And the cue ball is going to finish nicely behind the 2. Now, he's no right behind the knuckle, is he? Goodness me, don't tell me he is. No, he's okay. I thought he was behind the point there. Well, you just run off the side rail, back out into the middle of the table for the 6 into this bottom right hand corner. And he's gone into no man's land again. Hit it too hard, and now it's a thin cut. Got to watch the scratch. And he's managed to avoid the scratch. And he's overcooked it. We're now into the danger territory. The cut back and the scratch into the middle. Got to be wary of it. And he's drawn away and he's hung up the 8 and this game's over. It's a gift for Simax. Now don't do anything silly with the cue ball. And Simax gets through to the final. He wins by 7 racks to 6. And I'm not going to say I told you so, but I'm going to say I told you so. You play the right shot and the simple shot, and don't take any risks, and get the job done. And McClarkey has paid the price, and Simax goes through to the final, but McClarkey still got a second chance though. He's got the 1-loss side final against DJ Redo, and that's about to update on the bracket as far as the handicap goes. Now I would imagine DJ Redo is going to be getting like possibly the 8 ball. It could be as good as 7 and out. I'm I'm guessing something like that, and we'll see what happens. And once I see that, then I'm afraid I'm going to have to pull the plug, chaps. We'll see what happens when it updates. It should be updating any second. I think it possibly updates once the second player goes into the room. And DJ Redo's in the room. Yeah. Yeah, coming up in 25 past 10. It's still not up yet. Now, oh, he's in away mode. Maybe he's gone to the bathroom. Maybe he's actually smacking his head off the nearest door at the moment after what happened in that match. You never know. Now, listen, if you're listening, don't apologise. Just play the right shot and don't take chances. You can see, you're good enough to see what the sensible shot is. Just roll it into the middle, leave yourself on the next ball. But you start running cue balls around the table, you can dig yourself into a hole, and look what happened. Nothing went for you in the rest of that last 3 racks. Right, now... Now, you do realise your room is up, don't you? If you're still watching. It's double elimination. Well, anyway, it's now gone just beyond my bedtime almost. I am going to say good night, chaps. Thanks for those that are watching. Thanks for those that were watching. And... we will see you again sometime. I will bid you good night.